Tony D and Little Joan, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Department Q. Looks like a TV series from Netflix or possibly on the BBC. They got moved to Netflix about a troubled detective, which detectives aren't troubled, who has to take over the Department Q, which will investigate all their cold cases. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 17. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So it's got some classic, or some might say derivative elements. He had a partner who got shot in front of him, and he's troubled by this, which is partly why he gets transferred. May 29th it begins. And he's a really good detective. Not all causes are lost. And this is his crew. He gets this guy on the right as his assistant, but he's a bit of a problem in the department too, and that's why they kind of dump everybody on him. And then this woman, I don't know, her deal. Interesting line in it towards the end, and he's like questioning somebody at a hospital, and somebody says, gesturing to him, he's the detective, he's English. And then a Scottish nurse says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Which is a weird line, like, why would you be sorry? First off, you're Scottish. So, I mean, not exactly above him. What is that? "Oh, I'm so sorry, you're an English white man." It's like a weird attitude. But I'll say this. Series might not be typical bash the male white character. Maybe. Not sure. Doesn't look that way in the trailer anyway. At one point somebody says, well, why should we do that? And the main character's response is, because I'm in charge now. Okay. So a protagonist I can respect. He's not constantly apologizing for himself. And this show apparently is English. So what's going on? How did this slip through the cracks, BBC? So it appears to be pretty normal detective show. From the writer and director of The Queen's Gambit, Matthew Good stars as DCI Carl Mork, a brash but brilliant detective leading a cold case unit in Edinburgh. Department Q, a 9-part crime procedural series, coming May 29th. Not bad. I mean, I think I would check it out. I don't think it would be high on my list of things to watch. I don't watch TV anymore. I just don't have the time, but if I did, I wouldn't cross this off the list. So far, from what I've seen, and keep in mind I've only seen the trailer, but interesting. If it turns out the trailer is completely misleading, that would be interesting. If anyone's seen this show come May 29th, come back here and tell me what it's like, because that could be an indication that not so much that the powers that be who make this stuff aren't trying to make it woke. They're trying to hide the wokeness. You know what I mean? Like they realize, oh God, this won't sell. We spend the entire series bashing this guy. Well, maybe we cut a bunch of clips out of context. People won't know, and then they'll watch it, and then they'll be invested, and they won't stop watching. It's not heroin. It's just a TV show. But yeah, from what I've seen here, it looks perfectly fine. Perfectly normal. You know, these things just sort of fall into a pattern after a while. And some of that's good because it's like comfortable viewing, right? You know, when I used to watch SVU, it was comfortable because I knew each part of it. Like the first half of the show would be the cops, and then the second half of the show would be the courtroom drama. And I kind of like that pattern, and that's why I watched it for so long. After a while, I finally got tired of it, but it was a good formula for a long time. This is kind of that same pattern with detective shows. You know, it starts out with your protagonist, who has to be a little more interesting than your average character because he's going to be in every show, and you got to lay the groundwork for the long arc of the characters, right? So then there's the short arcs, and then there's the long arc. So the long arc here is, of course, his partner was killed, and maybe he hasn't solved that mystery. That would be pretty typical, right? He has to solve the mystery of his partner, and maybe he never will. That's kind of like Batman, right? Batman's parents were killed. He'll never, he was a little kid when it happened. He'll never find that guy. He's some anonymous guy in Gotham, but he fights crime. So one day, people in his situation don't have to go what he went through. So it's kind of a similar vein in that. But yeah, it's called Department Q because, police departments are always coming up with great names for their departments, and that makes total sense because Q stands for what exactly? Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on the green site, the orange site, and the black site for more videos. This Friday, I'll be, unless it pours and pours and pours, which I think it's going to rain in a day, but I think it'll stop, at Unexpected Farm, 5 p.m. to dark. And then on Saturday, again, I don't think it's going to rain at all on Saturday now. It's looking like Williamstown Craft Fair. And that'll be a big one. So come on out for that. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.